those who already know, those who are joining us first time, please connect with me in LinkedIn for more updates. This is going to help you even for upcoming automation session, even upcoming use case session, even upcoming security session. There are many programs we planned, almost 400 programs we are planning with step-by-step scripts. So the idea here is after each program, you can refer those steps. You can practice on your own and change your resume. You can project yourself from there, right? And also apart from this, we are also launching a lot of exam-based vouchers and freebies. From tomorrow, it's going to be in here newsletter. So you will get a lot of information on the fly. We don't have any major platform. So at least LinkedIn is providing everything. So we are utilizing whatever we can. And Subha profile, you can connect. This is the Subha profile. So he is working in currently cloud and DevOps, and he is supporting most of my backend POCs in the our research. And this is the Cloud and Load page. So those who are not able to find out where I need to check all the events, since I'm admin, so I need to be as a member. Go here and go to events. So you will see all upcoming events. Even I'm about to schedule another 16 events today or tomorrow. So you will get everything here. And even if you miss it, you can be get all events upcoming. And there is a LinkedIn group, technical group. If you have any query or if you get into any good training or good post or good documents or good videos, technical, so you can post it here. So this way you are going to help back to the community. Okay, and quickly I will go here. I started this almost running 11 years, part of community initiative for fundraising. Recently, I also started in consulting in Europe. So about to expand in Europe, all 6 countries as part of the fundraising. About Subha, he is almost into most of the automation now in my all POCs. I'm handing over to Subha. Shubha, you can start present. I'll be there.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with the second session of the Kubernetes. So yesterday we have discussed a little bit about what is Kubernetes and its architecture.
You can share your screen now,
yeah.
Shubha.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yesterday we have discussed what is Kubernetes and its architecture, and we have seen how we can install installation of the Kubernetes. So today we will discuss about how to create the namespace and pods and node pod, multi-pods, all those things we will see in the basic commands. So let's start with the session. So we will start with first we will go with the namespace. So I have created yesterday I have created 3 machines. I'm using those 3 machines and I have logged in into those 3 machines here. So let's execute the first command, what it shows. In the master, we will do all our operations. So get command this kubectl get namespace. NS means gets namespace. It will show all the default namespace that were already there. So it's a default namespace which was created. Whenever you install the Kubernetes and whenever you do the setup, already there will be one default namespace will be present. Next command that we have, this command will show the default service which are running in the Kubernetes. So this is the Kubernetes service is running on this IP address. So this command will show all the default service that are running. We have kubectl kubectl system. Okay. See, with this command, with the kubectl system, you will see which are the default pods that are running. These are the necessary services which has to be done. So you can see controller manager is running, API master is running, and Kube proxy is running, scheduler is also running, and ViewNet that we have installed yesterday, that also running, daemon set, deployment, and replica set. So these all are the essential, and etcd master is also present. So these all are the necessary services that need to be run for your further operation in the Kubernetes. Let's see our next command. Okay, the same command with the -o wide. Let's see what's the difference.
Okay, actually, there is a person is asking namespace. Okay, see namespace. Probably, Subha, if you want to explain, explain. I will also add some use cases.
Yeah, I
So
will
he's
going to
asking what is
explain.
yeah.
After this command only, I will explain that namespace.
Okay, okay. First you create and show, then you explain.
Yeah. So before like somewhat basic command I will show, then I will move to the namespace.
Yeah.
So okay. So we have executed the same command with the -oy. So to see the detailed output, so you can see the respective service which are running in which port, right? So Kube controller manager is running in the master node, and APS server is also running in the master node. So all these you can see the Kube proxy is also running in the node 1. Kube proxy is also running for the node 2, and scheduler is also running in the master, because we have configured all the things in the master node only. So that's why. And ViewNet is also running for in the master as well as in all the nodes, right? So these are the basic command to see the details. So now let's come to the namespace. So namespace are the logical separation for the different environment. Let's say you have production environment or testing environment, different environment you may have. So you can have a logical separation. So with the help of the namespace, you can use the same resources at the time, right? Because they are logically separated, right? So while you create a pod, right? So you will associate that pod with particular namespace. So if you create any other another pod also, so for example, you say if you want to access the port 80, right? So you can't access the both. So with the pod, you can't access the same port until unless they are differentiated, right? So with the namespace, we can differentiate all the environment, and we can share the same resource.
Yeah,
This
and
is the
one more thing, the different example also, the namespace. Say for example, we have a development, we have a SIT, we have a UAT, we have a pre-prod, we have a production. So I hope this is a normal environments. So if you really want to have separate logically, and you don't want to disturb the production environment or project wise, say project 1, project 2, project 3. So logically you can create a separate namespace. So whatever you do inside namespace, the other namespace, whatever is running, it's not totally isolated. It's kind of a wrapper you are creating. That is a namespace. Yeah, go ahead, Subha.
And one more thing, like if you delete the namespace, and then all the resources which are under the namespace will also get deleted. So when you delete the namespace, you should be careful. So let's create the how to create the namespace. So kubectl create ns namespace. So like this, we can create manually. We can create multiple namespaces. So we have created two namespaces. So let's see. Get ns command. We can through this command we can check. See, we have created just now cloud and loud and cloud and on 123. So like this, we can create manually. We can create the namespace. Okay, now let's see what's inside this YAML file. So this is the basic YAML file. If you are aware of how to create a YAML file, then you would have known. So this we can define the API version we are defining, what kind we are defining, namespace, metadata, and so here we are creating two namespaces. One is
Yeah,
Twitter and
Subha, actually, Sankat, I think just now I explained. Namespace means in the see you have only one server, one environment. In that, if you have a multiple projects, say for example, the production, but you need to do a lot of testing, a lot of R&D, a lot of testing, all functionality, then you should not disturb or you should not tamper the actual environment. But you need to do it. So how you do it? You create a namespace. That namespace you can create. Yeah, he's going to create it. See, namespace is like a wrapper, logical wrapper. Inside namespace, you do whatever you want, right? But that will not affect the other namespace resources. He's going to create. You just see. Yeah, go ahead.
and also like if you want to know which are the parameters we want to use, so you can refer this reference document also here. Yeah, this one. So here, if you want to create a pod, so you can see API version, you can see the description. Also here definition is also given. Kind is also given. What is metadata is it's also given. And spec and status we will see when we will create the pod. So these are the basic field that you have to give in the every YAML file, API version, kind, and metadata. So I will share this link in the chat later. Let's first create this namespace through a file. Let's execute this. Okay. So now you can see Facebook namespace has been created and Twitter namespace has been created. So in the YAML file also we have mentioned here Twitter namespace we are creating and Facebook namespace also we are creating. So both the namespace has been created. We will see the our next command. Okay. How now we have created the namespace. So how to delete? So simply you need to run this kubectl delete command. It will delete all the namespace that you have created. So we have created this Facebook and Twitter command through this file. So only this namespace only will be get deleted, not the cloud and loud that we have created. This one. The namespaces which you are creating manually, you need to delete that particular namespace. Otherwise, it won't get deleted. So let's see. You can see namespace Twitter deleted and Facebook also getting deleted. Okay. Now to delete any specific uh, namespace, just give delete.
Namespace.
So cloud and all also get deleted, and cloud and load 1, 2, 3 will also get deleted. So let's list. Get NS. See, so there is no namespace present, as we have created as well as deleted all the namespaces. So that's how we create the.
No, actually there is one question. Maybe it's okay. Isaac, you are asking, are you only create no namespace in master or can be created in nodes? First of all, you need to understand master is like a kind of admin server. You are administrator, but you are not going to do anything. Whatever command you are running on top of the cluster, it is going to happen. Where is the cluster? The on top of master with two worker nodes, node 1 and node 2. Yesterday we installed, right? So whatever command you are doing, that command, even you can do it from a laptop, but right now we configured it in master. So if you say you are going to create a namespace that will connect the cluster, that cluster will create this namespace. Okay, now where is the cluster? Combination of node 1 and node 2. You are getting the point. Subha, can you just create and show -o wide so that people will understand which node is running?
Okay, which command?
The once you created namespace, just go and -o wide, get all -o. Yes. Yes. Harizan, I have shared the YouTube channel. Even I'm keep sharing the LinkedIn just now. Even we are publishing all events, all recordings everywhere. So please be in touch base with LinkedIn so that you can get it all the information. Yeah, go ahead.
This one command, Kubi get all this.
Yes. You just enter it, right? Okay. So this is the already system related namespace, by default namespace, right? If you see in this output, where it is running, core DNS, that is the primary record service. It is running in Isaac. It is running in master, right? If you see etcd, that also running in master, because that we cannot run those services in worker node because that is the master related services. But if you see proxy, master also one service is there, and node 1 also one service is there, and node 2 also one service is there, right? So if you see, there is a net, VNet. Why we created a VNet? Because we need to communicate between master and the worker node across the networking. So if you see that each master, each node also have the same way. Whatever you are firing the command, that command will directly connect the cluster, right? That cluster where is running on top of worker node 1, worker node 2, right? That is why if you go plain Docker, right, that is a standalone. But why we are going to the Kubernetes? Because we need a redundancy, we need an orchestration, we need a better way to manage our resources. That is why we are going for Kubernetes. Previously, before Kubernetes demand, we used to, have you heard about Docker Swarm? But still, some of the clients, they are using Docker Swarm. The Kubernetes is the main purpose. We can do orchestration in a better way. We can do deployment in a better way. We can create a redundancy in a better way. We can expand the resources in a better way. That is a major reason now everywhere people are going with Kubernetes. Yeah, go ahead, Subha.
Okay. Clear the screen. So next we will see how to create the pod. So let's go first with this link and see what inside the YAML file. Okay. So this is the YAML file that will create the pod. So we are defining the API version, what kind pod, and we are giving the web server name as a pod, and namespace we are defining Twitter, and labels we are defining labels. I will explain. Labels are the useful for managing the containers that are managing container related tasks. For example, if you want to apply any changes, so only in the specific container, then you can call its associated label. And if there are multiple containers in a single pod, then you have to maintain the label for each container. So it will be easier to manage. So here we have labels Nginx, tire front version V1 in production, and we are creating one specification. We are creating one containers of Nginx, and port we are giving 80. So let's execute this container YAML file. You will get an error. So why we have got an error? Because we haven't created the namespace Twitter, right? So before, if you execute any YAML file, make sure that namespace should be created first, or you include that namespace YAML part in the same YAML part also. Otherwise, you need to create manually. So let's create the namespace. Then again, we will execute this command.
Amrita, actually, we are keep on flagging that we have a channel, we have a LinkedIn, because the problem is we are working and we are not able to follow up. We are not able to send any reminder. Please keep active either in LinkedIn. I would say LinkedIn, because apart from this, there are several programs I'm bringing in with all hands-on session, completely free. But the rather we send a reminder, that is really not possible considering all license cost, everything. So you please active on LinkedIn and keep watch out what is there. Yeah, go ahead, Subha.
So let's create the pod. Yeah. So now it got created. You can see, because we have created the namespace as well as pod also got created. kubectl apply. Okay, if you are creating the YAML file in your local machine, not storing in like we have YAML file in the GitLabs, and from that we are executing. So this command is used. So if you are creating the YAML file in your local machine, then you need to give this directly. You give the path of that YAML part of that file, full path, and it will execute. So right now we won't execute this command as we have already executed. So let's see this kubectl get all. So what we have mentioned here, -n refers means namespace.
Wait, Subha. Actually, Isaac, namespace, again, I'm saying it's a logical grouping. Okay. Inside namespace, we are going to create our resources. Okay. Let me, yeah, go ahead. I'm just opening my whiteboard. Probably I can draw some diagram. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. I'll explain.
So in this command, we have a space of -n. -n means namespace, and -l means label. If you remember, we have given app is equals to nginx. So we will enter, and it will show web server we have created. It will show the which pod we are running under Twitter namespace and having label nginx, right? So like this, we can specify so many labels which we have. Uh, we can specify tire is equals to front, version equals to V1, environment is equals to production. So let's take this example. Okay. Mm, just a second. So now it will display the pod which is having the namespace as a tutor and label as the environment production. So see, same web server pod is coming. So like this, you can use any parameter which is present here, even tire version also. So let's execute the next command. So if you want to go inside the pod and do some operations, then you can run this command kubectl execute. So we will go inside this pod. See, now we are inside the web server pod that we have created. So you can perform any operation that you want, and then you can come out from this pod. Now, labels I have already explained, and if you want to delete a pod, so how we will delete? We will delete with this command, kubectl command. What is that? So our pod is also get deleted. So like this, we can create our simple pod, and we can see the different output by giving the different parameters like labels and namespace, and we can also delete the pod. And if you have created the pod YAML file into your local machine, then instead of this URL, you can specify the path of that YAML file. So let's see how we can create a multiple pods. Okay, so let's go inside this URL, see what's the YAML file there. Okay. So single pod will multiple containers. So in a single pod, we will create multiple containers. So let's understand this YAML file. We have the API version 1, kind we are giving pod, and metadata we have specified that multiple pod container. Namespace we have given Facebook. Label we have specified HTTPD and front-end and version. Now, under specification, we have specified one HTTPD container we will be running, and port we have specified, and one MySQL container we will be running, and port we have specified, and we have given specified the environmental name. So let's execute this YAML file. First, we need to create the namespace, otherwise it will show error again. So let's create the Facebook namespace. Okay. Facebook namespace has been created. Now we will run this command. Apply. See, the multi-container pod has been created. So we can list all the containers with this command. So what it will do, it will show the pod with the having namespace as a Facebook, and label which we have specified HTTPD. So it will show this multi-container pod that we have specified. Like the single pod, you can also give any label which is mentioned here in this YAML file. Front end, back end also you can give one, or version you can also give. Now, if you want to see the inside of the pod, let's execute this command first and see what output we are getting described. So it will show what are the containers are running in the pod. So if you can see, we have specified the web container. Wait, I will show parallelly.
Subha, just
Yeah.
1 minute.
Hmm.
Probably I'll share my screen. I will
Okay.
just draw the simple diagram because people are joined. I think just I'm taking over.
Hmm.
Uh, See, just confirm you are able to see my screen. You are able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Confirm in the chat. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is see those who are asking for. I think from the initial one. See the namespace. It's a wrapper. Okay. First, I will go here. I will open up some. Okay. I'll just draw some diagram so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, hope you are able to see my whiteboard, right? So here, see, this is my Kubernetes cluster. Okay, in this Kubernetes cluster is running on top of node 1, on top of node 2. Okay, and this cluster managed by master. Okay, which is the control plane. So this master is the controlling both node 1 and node 2. So in Kubernetes terminology, we can use it say worker node 1, worker node 2. Okay. And whatever you are issuing the command, say create namespace, you are creating a namespace here. You are creating a namespace here. You are creating a namespace here. Say namespace 1, namespace 2, namespace, sorry, namespace 3. Okay. And in this namespace, you do whatever you want, but this will not affect here. This will not affect here. Maybe you can nominate this as a production. Maybe you can nominate this as all your testing purpose. Maybe you can nominate this as all your development purpose, right? So the idea here is namespace never ever. Basically, you are creating a logical wrapper. So inside this namespace, okay, if you see this, I am creating a pod. Okay, inside pod there is a container. The idea here is I am creating a pod. Okay, inside pod I can create a container 1, container 2, container 3, container 4, container 5 like that. But normally, if you are using any 3-tier architecture, say web tier 1, application server tier 2, database server tier 3-tier architecture. Okay, the idea here is you create one pod 1, and make sure you have a web server, you have application server, you have a database server, not in this. Okay, so like this, you can create a pod, sorry, you can create a pod 1, you can create a pod 2, you can create, but again, you are creating on top of this cluster, right? So this pod 1 may run on top of worker node 1, may run on top of worker node 2, because it's a common cluster, right? Suppose if the physical machine goes down, still you should have the enough capacity on node 2, worker node 2, right? So pod, so there is a container, and again go back here, and there is a replica set. Why? Because you want to scale it, right? You want to now you are going with the 3, but you can scale it, right? So there is a one more wrapper you are creating as part of scaling, right? And go back here. Now there is a worker node. So now you need to deploy it. So you can enhance the deployment. So one by one, he is going to show the hands-on part. So this is the complete setup, and even you go and say you want to expose it outside. Now you can you create as a service, expose it outside. So now there is a namespace, and then pod, inside pod there is a container, and how many you want, that is a replica set, and you need to deploy it, and I want to expose it, there is a service. This is how you need to think through. Subha, I'm just making you can share it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can share your screen. Continue.
Yeah. Able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So we have executed the command, which is this one. kubectl describe we have executed, and we have specified the pod multi-container pod that we have created, the namespace. So what output we have got? Let's see. If you want to see insights of the container, so you can see on which IP it is running and which all are containers that we have created. We have created a web container. If you see the YAML file again, so container we have created HTTPD with the image HTTPD. It's also there, and port is also there, and DB container we have created here. You can see MySQL image we have used, and port also we have specified. So here also you can see image is there, port is there. So like this you can check the inside if you want to get the details of the pod, and you can compare with your YAML file. So this command is also useful. So let's see. Okay, if you want to go inside the container, so you can also use this exe command by specifying the namespace. Let me clear the screen. So right now we have entered into the web container. It will automatically pick the first container. So if you want to go specifically, suppose you want to go inside the DB container, then this command will useful. -c means you are specifying the container. So let's execute. So first we will come out from this container. So -n refers to namespace, and -c refers to container. So we have created the container with the web. So we are inside the that container. And if you want to go inside the DB container, then you will here specify DB. So now we are inside the DB containers, and you can perform any operation which you want, and you can come out. So like this, we can create the pod with the multiple containers. And to delete the containers, you simply execute this kubectl delete. It will delete the container that you have created. So now our container has been deleted. Next topic that we will discuss is service. So what is a service, first of all? So there are three kinds of service. One is node pod, second is load balancer, and third is ingress. So what is node pod? Suppose you want node pod is generally used for testing purpose. Suppose you want to deploy some pod. You can see here there are multiple pods which are using the service, and you want to expose it to outside. You want the outside traffic to come inside and use our service. So you will open one particular port. Here it's mentioned like 30,000. So 30,000 port has been opened. So all your traffic will go this particular port, and it will access the service, your application service. So this is the one way. Another way is load balancer. In the load balancer, we will have to use the registered IP. So traffic will come with the particular IP address and access the all these services. So for this we will use the since we don't have the registered IP, so we will use the default service of Google Cloud, that is GKS, Kubernetes, Google Kubernetes service. With that, we will get the one public IP through which we can use, that we will see in the latest session. And third we have is ingress. Suppose we have here multiple pods, and we suppose we have three applications. Let's say application 1, this is application 2, and this is application 3, and each application is mapped with its domain. So if you want the traffic to come access this service and use this domain, we will use this ingress part. So this also we will see in the later session. Right now we will see how to create the notebook and how to use it. So let's see. First we will see how the YAML file is. So go to this link.
No. See, your people again confusing with cluster and the inside resources. See, the cluster is doing everything on top of it. Okay, whatever you are doing on top of cluster only, because that is how you are setting up the cluster initially. You are installing, you are joining the worker nodes to there, right? And now on top of cluster, you want to first create your logical. You need your room, right? You need to enter your room. You do whatever you want. That room is the namespace. Inside namespace, you first configure it. But I want to expose it. I want to deploy. I want to create a role-based deployment or a role update deployment, and I want to expose it. So you are using some services here. So, but everything on top of cluster.
Okay. So in this YAML file, we are creating the namespace Facebook. Then we are creating the pod and using that name, using the namespace as a Facebook, and we are running one container, Nginx container. So till this part, we have already seen, and here we can specify the node pod, which type which service we want to use. So we have specified the node pod, and role we are giving as the same as a label. Where is that? Yeah, the same as the web service we are giving here also, and we are given the type node pod. And node pod we are mapping this port 80 that we have specified here, container port. We are mapping it with the 32,000. So let's execute this and see what's the result. Okay. So our YAML file has been executed successfully. So let's see get all command. So you can see on we have created the pod named web server, and you can also see the node port type, and it is mapped with the 32,000 that we have specified, and it is running on the node 2. Okay, so let's access this IP, or a virtual machine IP is that. Yeah, so let's access and see the results. We will get the Nginx web page, welcome page. Welcome.
Subha,
Yeah.
can you go to the command prompt?
Okay.
No, go to the
Uh,
putty.
okay, putty.
Yeah, and show. No, just now you opened, right?
Which one?
No, the Google Cloud,
Okay,
the
okay.
command prompt. Yes. Yeah, go there. Okay, now you are. Can you 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL Facebook -wide? So now node port is 32,001, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's running.
yeah, it's running.
Okay, now okay, can you go to your Google Cloud? Have you added the firewall?
Yeah, I did.
Then it should work.
Wait,
Can you
I
check the
will.
firewall in the Google Cloud?
Yeah, sometimes it's not working, but I will.
No. Wait.
Okay.
Not this IP address. Can you go back to your Google Cloud machine console where you have the machine console? Go there. Okay.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Go there.
Hmm.
Can you check the 34 IP? Can you take that
Oh,
34
this
IP?
one.
Yeah, because the internal
Oh,
IP, how it will access? The external
oh.
IP, that is why they are providing. The internal IP is the cluster
Mm-hmm.
level communication, right? So you have to go with the public IP. Because the one thing what I thought is there is some firewall we need to open. Anyway, we have opened already
Yeah,
in
we have.
Google Cloud.
I missed this internal IP as well.
No. Go for it. Go for
Yeah.
it. I'm there. Because there is a very good question people are asking. After this explanation, I will explain one by one. Before. Right. Can you go back to your YAML file?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just delete that namespace? Simple. Okay. Scroll down. Scroll down. Okay. So there is you are exposing to 32,001, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just go and create a new namespace? New namespace.
Okay.
Or you delete this namespace and do it again.
Okay. I will
Can
delete
you
this.
delete this namespace? 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL, delete NS and Facebook. So it will destroy all inside that namespace, logical wrapper. Okay. So now can you go and create new namespace and deploy this in there?
Okay.
Okay. Before that, can you open again the YAML file?
I will open. Yeah.
Okay. Can you go above? Is there any namespace we declared here? Okay, so there is a namespace. You no need to create a namespace. Automatically it will
Yeah.
be created, correct?
Yes.
So Facebook, come down. Come down. Okay, so can you just apply it?
Yeah.
Take this and apply. Yeah. Okay, immediately you go and check 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get all -n Facebook wide. Okay, so now can you just access any one of the node 1 or node 2 IP address using that? I strongly suspect. Can you check your firewall? Can you go to your left hand side top 3 hyphen?
Yeah, this one.
No. Can you give me a control? I'll do it.
Okay.
In the Google Cloud, there is a firewall. So can you click this? Okay. No. Wait. Let me control. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Continue.
So I'm just going here because this is going to happen in AWS as well as Azure. I'm going for a network. Come down. Yeah, VPC network. There is a firewall. Okay, in the firewall, have you added all ports? Wait. So I'm just see here. By default, even in AWS, you need to open, right? So can you go back to the one which you deployed? Can you go back to the one which you deployed now? 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL command you executed, right?
Yes.
Can you go there?
This one.
Yeah. So here, if there is any issue here itself, the status will not be pod status is showing running. That means the pod is completely deployed as it is without any error, right? So now the only expose is from outside you are not able to reach here. Why? Because can you go back to the Google Cloud Console? Google Cloud Console. Okay, here there is a firewall rule you need to create. Those who are planning to practice, those who are planning to utilize this in Google Cloud, it's a good lesson. So you also watch it. So I'm going to say hello all because I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm trying to learn. So scroll down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say targets. I want everything because I'm just trying to learn. I'm going to say all 0.0.0/0. Okay, and say hello all. So I'm just say hello all. Come down. This is one time only you need to create because this is Google Cloud. So one time, but in AWS, every time you need to make sure the security group is created. Okay, so now you created. Can you go back and test with the 32,001?
Yeah,
it's working for me. I'm checking in my machine. It's working. Can you go back and I'm stopping control. Can you go and access public IP address, not private IP address?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go back and go back to the compute instance. Take the IP. No. Yeah, it's working. For me, I'm checking. So go here. Yeah, compute. Go to compute.
Yeah.
No, relax. The POC
No.
always you need to get everything. Okay. Go to take the any public IP because Kube proxy is there. So across cluster, it will serve from any machine. That is the major advantage in Kubernetes. 32,001. Enter it. Boom. So it's working. So the only problem is your Google Cloud to outside or outside to Google Cloud, there is a firewall. You need to create it. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
proceed. I'm there. So once you finished, I will answer all their queries. Go ahead.
So we can like this we can access this port with any public IP. So if we select this node 1 also, we are able to see the same Nginx web server page 32.301, as well as if we go for the node 2, for that also we can see the same Nginx page will be shown. Why this is happening? Because through API communication, it is Kube proxy is able to serve across all the cluster. So that's why it's showing for all the machines this Nginx page. So next we are deleting this particular YAML file. So whenever you do practice, you should also delete this. So if we access again, so it will not show anything. Let's refresh this. There won't be anything here. The site can't be reached. Here also. And here also. This you can practice in your own lab. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
I completed.
Okay, so I'm going to open up. Can you raise your hand? I'm seeing there are a lot of queries one by one. Can you just raise your hand? I will uh, give you access. You start. Can you raise your hand? If okay, Srijit, I'm giving you access. You unmute your mic. Santosh, you unmute your mic. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, it is quite second day. It is good actually. Just I was just yesterday, maybe the one basic one I want to know that yesterday I told that in if I because I am quite good in the architecture level in knowledge of Hadoop this one yarn with Hadoop system SDFS and all. So is there any difference with the yarn? Because in place of yarn, Kubernetes, we can use yarn also as a playing of the resource manager. And here, how could we know like a master node gets the heartbeat and all?
The master node get the plugin like a Kube proxy. There is a Kube plugin, right? It will
Mhm.
create a cluster. That is why, Subha, can you go and run this command in your machine? Can you say Kube CTL get space all space -n space Kube system. Kube-system space -o space wide -o space wide. Are you able to see this output? Okay,
Yes.
see here. If you see the Kube proxy, it will be running on master. It will be running on node 1. It will be running on node 2. Are you seeing that?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there is a Kube controller manager master. So it is running only in master. So there are a couple of server related services. Okay, master will control. The idea here is any query. Okay, it will come to the etcd. That is the configuration. Actually, the configuration will receive. Then there should be some person, some manager should be there. Okay, I received something. I'm afraid I need to check it whether already implemented or already processed or not processed. That decision we need to take it, right? Before
Mhm.
we go and yeah, trigger, right? So what will happen is there is a controller manager master services, right? That
Correct.
service automatically will analyze. Where will analyze? There will be a configuration. So etcd is that configuration. Etcd will show, okay, this is the configuration. and the control manager will compare. Okay, I received this maybe 3 replica, but already there is a 2 replica. So you need to trigger one more. So the controller manager will decide the received request whether what I exactly need to do. Then it will pass on to there is a one more service, Sujit, scheduler master. You are seeing it, right? So scheduler master will help to implement the task. Maybe you can say team lead. Okay, so the decision will be taken in controller manager, but he will inform the scheduler A. I found this is the task actually has to be done. So scheduler master, using scheduler master, it will trigger. Then where it will implement. So there is a VNet using the network driver. Go to cluster and implement it. Okay, you implemented. Now you inform me where you need to inform me through API server. Then where I need to update etcd configuration file, because next time when there is a request, again I need a comparison, right? So this is how the process works, right?
And yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Now,
Go
in the
ahead,
replica, in the 𝐸𝐸x, you told we were so there we can use the replication factor also. Suppose if I want to go for the default a part of it, like 2 or 4.
Yes. So the VNet is the one of the driver, because the idea here is we need to experience in our environment, because we are not having any license environment. We are having just small servers, 1 or 2 servers, but we need to learn. So that is why we need some open source driver. But in production, there is a VMware is having their own driver. Even if you go to any provider, they are having their own driver, right? But just to understand, we are using this. You are getting the point. Even the Red Hat in OpenShift, they are having their own proprietary drivers.
And just a last question that
Yeah,
Yarn.
go ahead. You
Yarn
can ask all
2.0.
questions.
No,
Yeah.
no, Yarn 2.0 is holds the 2 master node. So in this case, Kubernetes also can be configured as a.
Kubernetes, if you take my current environment, recently we implemented, we have almost 4 to 5, because if you talk about the production, again, we need to ask only one question. If this goes down, what I need to do? Okay, so the redundancy. So you need to always plan for multi-master. Because yesterday also there are a lot of people asked, don't worry, because I'm really struck on that cloud DevOps use case internship preparation, everything. Almost I'm coming out. I will prepare this. I will create one session. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Even a couple of people asked for blue-green deployment also. What I will do is I will club both in one session. I will help you all with the step-by-step. After that, you use those steps, and you can do it in the similar POC environment.
Thank you.
Yeah, Santosh and Prabhar, I unmuted. Go one by one. Even Bautik, go one by one.
Hey, hi, this is Prabir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I just thanks for this session. I have query related this Q proxy. I mean, how it's playing the role over here, and I think there's a concept of overlay networks also. Okay,
Yes.
so how it is actually doing performing this network stuff in this whole clusters. Yeah. Can you please explain?
If you ask Kube proxy, it's a really ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just send me your question so that I can add those questions also? First, I will respond to you with the detail. I will add those also during my the multi-master and failover session.
Okay,
Because
sure.
the Kube proxy is in a high level. I will explain. Kube proxy, say for example, can you you observed, right? We have deployed one node port, and we accessed the master IP, still is working. We accessed node 1 IP, still is working. Node 2 IP still is working. Correct? That means there is something happening in across the cluster. Till now, before Kubernetes period, we seen only one thing. If we deploy something in cluster, we can get only in the cluster IP, not from all IP, correct?
Yeah.
But Kubernetes is changing that complete concept mindset. So Kube proxy and Kube spray, those networking parameters, what is happening is it is trying to block across the cluster. That cluster, whatever the member nodes, he also can capable to serve the same with the same port. That means that port is reserved across the cluster. Even you can go via a master, it is accessible. Even go via, so that way again the load sharing also is happening. So just can you list down your question? What I will do is first I will respond with the example to you. Then I will also add this to the upcoming session, so that I'll explain to everyone with hands on.
Sure. Thank you.
Hi, Bhautik here.
Hi.
So related to the single ports and multi ports. So just I would like to understand like where there is any use case like where we want to use the single on only.
Can I share my screen? You confirm whether you are able to see my whiteboard. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Can you confirm whether you are able to see the screen?
Still not. Yeah, now we are able to see.
Okay. See, I am having a part. This is the part. Okay. First, we will go with the single part. A single part. So in this part, I am having one container. Okay. So this is the small application is possible. Okay. So this container port is maybe say 80 or 443 if you really want to test HTTP, but HTTP is anyway the front end. So as of now, you go with the 80. I'm just going with. So whenever you create a pod, that pod also has to create with one container. Okay. So, but I need minimum 3 replica. That means I need to create one more pod 2. I need to create one more pod 3. Okay. This is the one single container. So when you access ingress to the some namespace, so what will happen is the traffic will come, the more load you already defined that I need a 3 replica set. So it will be scattered with here, scattered with here, scattered with here, right? So it will be served. But where the multi-part, single part multi-container and multi-part multi-container. Okay, suppose you worked on any web application, right? Maybe web server, application server, database server, right? Yeah. So this is how one tier normal application tier will work. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? So if you create this in this scenario, let's rest everybody go on mute. So here I'm saying this is the web server container. Again, this is the application server container. This is the database server container. Just imagine web server anyway, it needs to process with application server. Application server anyway, it needs to process with database server. You agree? You agree, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, in that case, if I go with the single part, single container concept, you are really again performance bottleneck will happen. Why? Because the request is coming here, again it will contact here, again it will contact here. Correct? So rather,
yes,
my purpose is I need to come the receive one. As soon as I receive the request, I need to process it. So simple, in the same part itself, you create app server, you create a database server. You create a, so all 3 together one single part, but please make sure this should be different port, this should be different port, this should be different port. That is what I explained in the master GitHub just now I shared. Okay, so you refer the GitHub, you will get more examples. But the idea here is we are showing one example, but I created almost minimum 3 example in each and every service, right? So You understand, right? So if I have
Yeah.
same part, web server container as well as app server container and DB container. So what will happen is I will just delete everything. So I will draw again so that people will be really clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in this concept, one part, okay, and in this part there is a web, there is a app, there is a DB. So maybe you can say 80 port, app server is 80 port. I'm just giving example. DB server say 1521. Okay, so but I need more load because I'm receiving 10,000 requests per hour. So you need more replica, but more replica, set of more replica. You have to underline set of more replica. That means this is one set, this is one set, this is one set. Like that you can expand. That is a replica set. So, but as soon as I receive any request in the cluster based on the Kube proxy behavior, the request will come here. I will change the color. The request will come here. The request will come here. The request will come here. Correct? So the moment I receive, who am I? I'm a part. The moment I receive the request, automatically it will process everything in this together itself very fast, and the results will share back outside. So the moment I receive the request here, who am I? I'm a part 2, set 2. So process here, share back. So who am I? I'm a part set 3. Process it, share back. So who am I? I'm a part set 4. Are you clear right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any query? Sorry,
No.
my handwriting always.
No, it's good actually. Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Any?
Vijay, I have a query related to that. So how within the like two ports will communicate inside the like the two ports will communicate within
You can
like two
create.
containers.
No,
Yeah.
you can create. You can create a container as long as this having the different port. That is why if you go and see, I wantedly created a same port. You
Okay.
will face a issue. There is a 4 examples. You practice it so that you will get a more understanding over there.
Okay, I have one more query related
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
this service. So, like, there are like node port, load balancer, ingress, and cluster IP. So, ingress is more of what is it, host and path based kind of routing. But these
Yes.
three, where we can use is there like any
No.
specific
Node
like
port only for development. Just stick to the
only?
development.
Okay, how
Not
about
for any real time.
okay
Just
and
for our understanding.
okay, and load balancer, it is like it will use most of the time. I think the AWS load balancer kind of. So, like,
No. Load balancer, mostly if you have more dedicated IP address pool, then you
okay.
can go with the load balancer. But normally load balancer, you can do it in any of the managed Kubernetes only. Azure managed Kubernetes or AWS managed Kubernetes or Google managed Kubernetes, because you need IP. We don't have IP. You need physically allocated static IP in your cluster. That is only possible if you go with there, because or else in India there are a couple of service provider. In Chennai, I think there is a Hathway. They are providing direct static IP. In that case, you can also explore in that load balancer in your home itself. But I don't think we have. So better you go with the load balancer alone. You need to deploy anyway. We will show it next week.
Okay, so ingress is most of the time we use in the production.
Yeah, because you know, right? Most of the time, our production application domain name is one single domain name, but there is a sub application or sub environment. Correct?
Yeah.
I cannot go with all 100 environments, 100 domain name. That also one of the robust in Kubernetes. So, but whoever is coming here, that domain name it's the same, but I have to transfer different environment, different packages, different sub application. That is how the microservices.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on the URI, it's a very good in Kubernetes. You can redirect. Yeah. Any other query?
Yeah, I'm got it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Vijay, one thing related this, multi continuous pods. So, suppose that in a particular pods, if there's a two containers, okay, one is a DB and one is app, then how, how the DB is going to refer the app containers? Is there something name or some IP
No,
similar
you are
network name?
deploying it, right? While if you open a YAML file, you are creating a dependency where you need to call
Mhm.
that dependency. That is why we are mentioning the label and selector and all, right?
Yeah,
So
but
if
suppose
you
that
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, suppose that there's an application, using some database, okay, and how it is going to know that okay, this the database containers name is this, like similar to, like, if I need to access a database, I need to the name, IP, and all the port details, right? So because both are in same pod, okay, and the name, how it is, the app containers going to refer the DB containers? I mean, is there something
See
name or
here,
some
this is
IP?
this is this is the node port, one YAML file, correct?
Yeah.
So in this, first I'm deploying one part. In this part, there is a web server, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the single one, right? So in this, I'm going to expose it to the same one part, one container. I'm exposing it. Are you clear in this?
Yeah, this is for single containers
Yes,
pod,
yes,
right?
yes. So now
Yeah.
I'm going to say part, the multi-part. I'm just going to the full one. I'm just okay. Can you see this? If you refer this, I'm creating a part with two containers, right? Can
Yep.
you see this label, app DB, right? And
Mm-hmm.
tire backend. Okay, this label you can create n number, everything. So come down. Okay, you can go here and you are, this container is a DB container. This container is a web container, correct?
Correct.
Okay, can you see this? There is a name, we are mounting it because each container I need to have some persistent storage from outside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Since you are started using grouping everything in one single name, right? This will have a kind of a group, first of all.
Yep.
So in your application, your data source, you have to configure in such a way that you need to go here. And even if you go to the same GitHub, and there is a init concept. Okay, I'm just opening the init containers so that you will have a more understanding. I'm just going to show you. Are you able to see my desktop? So this is the web server and database server. First of all, I'm going to show you. I will open both. So you need to create such a way that dependency. Definitely you have to ensure. So this is the Redis. See here, the front end I'm receiving. Remember, all are in the same front end receiving, but until this is not app, I will not respond. I will not take any request. So how do you? I'm creating a dependency also. If you are planning for 3-tier or 2-tier architecture, then definitely unit concept is more save your stress during the support.
Mm-hmm.
So because suddenly you are taking this to the maintenance, maybe correct. So this part set should not be ready. If even if receive the request, it will be failed because you taken this as a maintenance, right? So the moment you
Mm-hmm.
take, there should be some dependency you need to create. I created all the example. What I'm requesting is you simply follow and deploy and taste the error. There will be a wanted error also I created. There will be a wanted result also I created in this. So yeah,
Okay.
better what I'm requesting is you clone this environment, GitHub environment to your GitHub environment, so that you, even if I change anything, you will not miss out anything. But again, I'm seeing where is the training, where is the publish. See, again, I'm saying I'm just opening it. The LinkedIn, you can go here. Probably I can just share here. The LinkedIn, always I never ever miss to publish. So better you either follow me or go to a page, and there is a LinkedIn group also. I never miss out any of this. Either I will put it in my timeline or the page timeline or here, or there is a LinkedIn, whatever the link I have published in the YouTube channel. So go to YouTube. There is, I already shared. Search Cloud and Loud. You will get all information in that YouTube itself.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, because the apart from this session, there is a lot of session also happening. Even if you miss out anywhere, you will get the notification direct from your mobile. This YouTube channel, I have created all everywhere. I'm also releasing more solution related upcoming programs. Even if you miss out in LinkedIn, you will get it in the LinkedIn page. Even there you miss out, LinkedIn group. Even there you miss out, you will get it here. Because the thing is, we are not able to spend much time. First of all, we need a huge license, CRM license. We don't have, because we are just working professional. We are helping the community. So if you can keep watch any one of the area, whenever you are free, you will get notified. Accordingly, you raise whenever you need anything. Probably I'll try to help you.
Thanks, Vijay. Yeah.
Any other query before we? I think Santosh, you asked, right?
Yes, Vijay, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks everyone. Please stay tuned. We'll come up with more sessions. Thanks everyone.